class with anabolic steroids. Okay, it's almost 11. So let me share my screen. Am I visible and audible? Anabolic steroids. So synthetic androgens with high anabolic property. These are called anabolic steroids. All synthetic androgens like nandrolone, oxymetholone, stanozol, methandienone, even other flutamide, fluticasone, they all have a anabolic property. Anabolic means bodybuilding property or muscle building property, that are called anabolic steroid. Anabolic steroid. So the ratio of androgenic and anabolic activity differs. Ratio of androgenic and anabolic activity differs in case of anabolic steroids. For example, in case of testosterone, it has both. Androgenic means development of male sex character. Anabolic means development or synthesis of muscle mass. These are called anabolic property. Anabolic means only that are more property towards synthesis of muscle mass than towards the androgenic property. So they are called must have more anabolic effect than androgenic effects. So let me come to a few drugs. For example, we have synthetic steroids. Synthetic steroids. We have testosterone. Testosterone has both equal anabolic as well as androgenic property. Testosterone has equal anabolic, androgenic to anabolic activity, equal ratio. That means they have equal androgenic activity, whereas they show equal anabolic activity. For example, all testosterone like ethanate, propionate, cypionate all have a equal androgenic as well as anabolic property. Whereas methyl testosterone also has a 1:1 ratio of androgenic and anabolic property. Fluoxymesterone, they have more anabolic activity compared to androgenic activity. See here, the ratio is 1:2. They have 1:2 androgenic to anabolic activity. Oxymetholone, they have 1:3 ratio. That means the value to a ratio towards the anabolic activity are higher. Now we can compare, or we can say from fluoxymesterone, oxymetholone, oxandrolone, nandrolone, and stanozol, they are all anabolic steroids because they have greater anabolic activity compared to androgenic activity. We cannot say testosterone and methyl testosterone anabolic steroids have equal androgenic as well as activity. So now you can differentiate between androgenic and anabolic steroids. Testosterone, they have both equal. Methyl testosterone equal. Remaining all are anabolic steroids. Sometimes they might ask you in MCQ which of the following has a equal anabolic to androgenic, or testosterone has 1:2, 1:1, or in this way they can give you the option. So please remember, to be anabolic steroids, they should have more anabolic ratio of anabolic to androgenic activity. These are our available drugs. Now it's very simple mechanism, same, since they are steroids, congeners of testosterone, they are synthetic products of testosterone. That means they have same mechanism of action that of testosterone. That means they have a nuclear receptor 3A, like of yesterday. I have explained you this figure. Yes, please. Anything? Anybody wants to say anything? Okay, please turn your mute your mic. Okay. So again, they have a same and nuclear receptor. They bind with nuclear receptor, 3 domains: amino acid, nuclear binding, DNA binding, ligand binding. Anabolic steroid binds to ligand binding. They migrate into nucleus. Then the DNA binding binds with the DNA. Then in the presence of specific enzyme, they synthesizes specific type of muscle tissue. They do not have any other androgenic activity or very less androgenic activity. They have more muscle building or muscle tissue building activity. That's why they are called anabolic steroids, and they have same mechanism that of testosterone. There is no difference. Now, let's talk about the pharmacological effects. Like at puberty in male causes development of secondary sex character, same as a physiological effect of testosterone, because they also have an androgenic, but anabolic activity are higher compared to androgenic. Then at a last dose, they also inhibit the LH by negative feedback, which results into atrophy of Leydig cell that like of testosterone, but reduces excretion of nitrogen in urine. This is the helpful property of anabolic steroids. What they do, they reduces the excretion of nitrogen in urine, indicating increased protein synthesis and decreased protein breakdown in body. That's why they are called anabolic steroids. What they do, they reduce the excretion of nitrogen in the urine. That means they increase the protein synthesis or decrease the protein breakdown. That means they are helpful in building muscle tissues. That's why they are anabolic steroids. Administration in women results into in masculization changes similar to those seen in pubertal male. That's why this should be very cautiously, or not, females should generally avoid the anabolic steroids. Now see clinical use, same as of testosterone, no more difference. Only they have anabolic activity higher than androgenic activity. That's why they are given in androgenic replacement therapy in men in case of hypogonadism due to testicular failure or anterior pituitary failure. They are also used as protein anabolic agent, used for positive nitrogen balance for promotion of muscle growth, especially in AIDS patient. They are also used as growth stimulator in conjunction with other hormone used to combat pituitary dwarfism. Three main uses of anabolic steroids: one, androgenic replacement therapy; another, protein anabolic agents, and used as a growth stimulator in pituitary dwarfism. Then sometimes they might be given in case of osteoporosis, but we have other safe drug compared to anabolic steroids like bisphosphonates. That's why nowadays, in case of osteoporosis, anabolic steroids are very rarely used. Let me talk about adverse effects similar with the androgens testosterone. That means they result into virilization in females, masculinization of fetus if administered to pregnant women. That's why contraindicated in pregnancy, should not be given. Cholestatic jaundice and liver dysfunctions are seen after it alters the serum lipids. That means same as a testosterone, since they have androgenic activity, they lowers HDL, good cholesterol, and they increases the LDL, low density lipoprotein, that is bad cholesterol. That means they increases the susceptibility to atherosclerotic disease in women. Replacement therapy may cause acne, sleep, and even suppresses the spermatogenesis and decreases the testicular size. And in prostatic enlargement and edema are other reported adverse effect. Addiction and dependence, withdrawal causes insomnia, loss of energy or appetite, and several depression. That means the steroid is addictive and they are dependent, so should not be used. So contraindication and cautions: should not be given in pregnancy. Obviously, male patients with prostate or breast cancer are not given. Infants and young children again should not be given. Cardiac, renal, and hepatic disease, all these conditions, anabolic steroids should be avoided, and generally anabolic steroids are not used clinically. Now there is a term called abuse of anabolic steroids, which is called dope test, which is generally done to athletes. Mostly the anabolic steroids are mostly abused by athletes and weightlifters. That's why before any game or frequently in certain duration of time or interval of time, they should go for dope test. All the athletes should go for dope test. The urine are analyzed, and if there is any presence of anabolic steroids in the urine are analyzed. In this way, they undergo dope test. So why they use? The drug may prevent muscle catabolism that often accompanies intense exercise training. That means they prevent, since they have anabolic activity, muscle building activity, they reduces muscle degrading or muscle catabolism of the muscles during intense training. That's means they would be helpful in case of athletes. So drug may block the effects of hormones such as cortisol, which results into catabolism, muscle catabolism, which are involved in tissue breakdown during and after exercise. They have two effects. Number one, what they do, they prevent catabolism of muscles, and also they prevent the actions of cortisol. after stopping the drug, see, when after stopping the drug, the catabolic effect of cortisol are enhanced and strength and muscle size are lost at rapid rate. That is, now it starts showing withdrawal reaction. After stopping drug, again the catabolic cortisol become active and shows its effect. So side effects appears as cortisol suppresses due to the enhancements of cortisol after stopping of the drug. The cortisol suppresses immune system. Immune related problem could be seen by the use of anabolic steroids, and hypertension as a result of sodium and water retention. This is the main problem with the anabolic steroids. That's it for anabolic steroids. We have a very short topic. This is for a self-study because it's not included in your curriculum, but also sometimes they might ask question. Sometimes, so you should go for drugs for erectile dysfunction. It's a major problem for males, and it may result into stress and even suicidal tendency. So to correct this erectile dysfunction, androgens used only if loss of libido and erectile dysfunction is due to androgen deficiency. Otherwise, there is no functions of androgens in erectile dysfunction. We have a potent or very widely used drug called sildenafil, tadalafil, and vardenafil. They are phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitors. Phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitors. Now you can remember phosphodiesterase in asthma, CHF, now in as an erectile dysfunction. The phosphodiesterase type 5 inhibitors. Inhibition of phosphodiesterase increase cyclic EMP. Increase cyclic EMP dilates the vascular muscle, and since dilation of the muscles in the penis or in the penile region will result into more blood accumulation and will helpful in erectile dysfunction or will help to in erection. That is the main. So you should go and read about these things. Right? Sometimes it's in simple terms. These phosphodiesterase inhibitors are also called, I think, Viagra. They are available as in the market as a trade name. So please go through it, study their mechanism action. Their mechanism action is similar to that other phosphodiesterase inhibitors. Now we have other papaverine and phentolamine induced penile erection, that is pipe therapy, because they are alpha agonist. So alpha agonist could be helpful. They are alpha antagonist, alpha blockers. Alpha blockers again are used, and prostaglandin analog alprostadil are also available. So this is the topic for your self study. That's it for today.